Hello, I'm Michael with Franke Coffee Systems. In this section, we're going to look at a typical menu that you would find in a specialty coffee shop. We'll review the drinks in detail and how to prepare each one of them. Let's start with one of the more popular drinks, the latte. Latte means milk in Italian, so cafe latte is literally coffee with milk. Latte is 1/3 espresso and 2/3 milk. I'm fixing to make one now. Shall we get her done?
To begin, you always want to purge the steam wand. As you begin frothing the milk, go ahead and begin brewing the espresso, as both the espresso and the milk should be finished at roughly the same time. As you steam the milk, you only want to froth it slightly by keeping the tip of the steam wand towards the top of the milk. You will hear the air escaping as the bubbles or froth is made as you froth the milk. When finished steaming, always wipe the steam wand with a clean, damp towel to remove the leftover milk and purge the steam wand again. Pour the milk over the espresso steadily in the center of the cup all the way until a very slight amount of milk froth appears on the top of the cup.
Next, we have the cappuccino. The name Cappuccino means hood and was used to describe the color of the hooded robes worn by the Franciscan Capuchin monks. A cappuccino, or little hood, is 1/3 espresso, 1/3 steamed milk, and 1/3 milk foam. Let's make one now.
Now purge the steam wand like before. As you begin frothing the milk, go ahead and begin brewing your espresso, as both the espresso and the milk should be finished at roughly the same time. As you steam the milk, you want to froth the milk through the entire heating process to create the maximum amount of milk foam. Just like with the latte, you create the milk foam by barely submerging the tip of the steam wand into the milk. The only difference is that you keep frothing the milk through the entire steaming process. You will hear the air escaping from the milk when you do this. Listen for the psst, psst, psst sound. When finished steaming, always wipe the steam wand clean with a damp towel and purge the steam wand. Pour the milk steadily in the center of the cup, but pour faster as you go to assure that the adequate amount of milk foam gets to the center of the cup.
Macchiato, the Italian word for marked, is fundamentally a cappuccino, but the big difference is that you are pouring the espresso over the milk and thus marking it. Let's make one now.
When making a macchiato, prepare the milk as you would for a cappuccino. Pour the milk into the cup quickly to assure an adequate amount of milk foam is added to the cup. You only want to leave enough room at the top of the cup for the espresso to fit perfectly. Brew the espresso directly over the milk foam and watch the beautiful layers almost magically appear.
Now we'll look at probably the most popular drink on the menu, the mocha. Mocha gets its name from the African port of Mocha, which has been a dominant exporter of coffee for centuries. Coffees from this region have a notable chocolatey taste, and hence the term mocha is now commonly referred to as coffee with chocolate. Mocha is basically a latte with chocolate syrup or powder added. The drink is often topped with whipped cream and then occasionally cinnamon or chocolate powder. Let's make one now.
We'll begin with the adequate amount of chocolate in the cup. As always, purge the steam wand. Then, as you begin steaming the milk, brew your espresso as they will both be finished at roughly the same time. Steam the milk as you would for a latte, only frothing slightly for a small amount of foam. When you finish steaming, always wipe the steam wand clean and purge the steam wand. Combine the steamed milk with the chocolate and espresso that is already in the cup. You might need to agitate or stir to assure the chocolate, espresso, and milk are properly mixed. Leave roughly a ½ inch of room on the top of the cup for whipped cream. Dispense the whipped cream in a circular motion to cover the top of the drink.
And now for everyone's favorite, the hot chocolate. It's simply steamed milk and chocolate. You would prepare the milk as for a latte and then combine it with either chocolate powder or chocolate syrup. Then top with whipped cream. Let's make one now.
We begin with chocolate. As always, purge the steam wand before you steam. Then steam the milk as you would for a latte, only frothing slightly for a small amount of foam. When finished steaming, always wipe the remaining milk from the steam wand and then purge it. Pour the milk into the chocolate. Agitate or stir the chocolate so it mixes evenly with the milk. Make sure the chocolate is mixed thoroughly in the milk. Leave roughly ½ inch of room on top for whipped cream. Dispense the whipped cream in a circular motion to cover the top of the drink.
Let's take a look at the Americano, which is basically a cup of coffee in which the coffee consistency is achieved by diluting espresso with hot water. Let's make one now.
We begin the Americano by dispensing the appropriate amount of hot water into the cup. This should be very close to the top of the cup as you only want enough room remaining for the espresso. Once enough water is in the cup, brew the espresso directly over the water. You will see it mix together almost instantly. When the espresso is finished brewing, there you have it. Simple.
The Espresso Macchiato is a very traditional Italian drink in which we gently mark the espresso with milk foam. Now, let's make one.
Here we are with the Espresso Macchiato. As always, before you steam, purge the steam wand. Then begin steaming your milk. At the same time, begin brewing your espresso, as they should both finish at roughly the same time. You want to steam the milk as you would for a cappuccino, remembering to froth through the entire steam cycle to make sure you have lots of foam. When you finish steaming, remember to always wipe the steam wand and purge it. When your espresso is complete, pour the milk gently and steadily in the center of the cup. Pour slightly faster as you reach the top of the cup, so that a small spot of milk foam appears in the center. Now you have marked the espresso.
Espresso Con Panna means coffee with cream in Italian. It's a double shot of espresso topped with whipped cream. Let's make one now.
First begin with a double espresso. Then take the whipped cream and begin dispensing in the center of the cup, being very careful not to touch the edges. You want roughly a golf ball sized dollop of whipped cream in the center of the cup. Enjoy!
This concludes the section on the specialty coffee menu. If you have any further questions, please reference the manual that came with your machine, visit us on the web at www.us.franke-cs.com, or call us at 1-800-310-5710, option 1. Thanks and enjoy the coffee.